Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, Computer Wednesday, we're going to talk about human AI pin. So let's dive deep into it. So what is the idea behind this Humane AI pin? Well, the idea is very simple. It's an AI assistant that is with you 24/7. So basically, imagine this, but here. So you have a puck here that's gonna work as that. Now, what's the difference between this compared to any smartphone? Now, ideally, this puppy should be observing and like basically seeing and hearing everything that you are seeing and hearing. Now, is that beneficial? Well, yes, that's the biggest issue with AI as of now, is that AI does not have any context. So if you have an AI that is getting context of what's going around, then you can make an amazing assistant. Like how the heck you can ask things from your assistant, because well, they're seeing what you are physically doing. So if you're like, hey, I'm having issue, like assistant literally loads their neural catalog. It's like, okay, the dude is with computer. It's like, okay. So this may be the possible options. So like we do not think about it, like, but we do a lot of subconscious filtering before we even offer up a solution because of our contextual awareness. It's like, oh, this is what you're dealing with. This is what could be the option. Like, we do a lot of things. So AI could have encyclopedic knowledge of everything. It just would not know how to filter it out without context. So having the ability to see and hear provides them that. Now, be mindful, it will not be hearing or seeing all the time simply because of the battery. Battery is too goddamn small. So you have to turn it on. But when you do, it should be able to gain access quite quickly. It should be able to assess the situation quickly. So here and provide solutions. Now, full contextual awareness, that's the key difference. For example, back in the early days, you could have seen this between comparison between basically Google AI and Siri AI, is that if you asked a Siri, is like, who is the president? Siri will provide you the answer. Okay, X is the president. You're like, how tall is he? Siri will be confused. Who is that tall? Because again, she did not have the contextual awareness in early days of what, like, what was my previous conversation. But now modern AIs can do that. It's like, oh, you must have asked it. That means, like, we do some contextual awareness. So same point, if you have a camera and a microphone that is attached in a very comfortable position and is observing things, it should have contextual awareness. So it should provide you much better responses. Now, your own human-like assistant, that's what they are selling. Basically, this puppy attached here. That's the whole point. And it will be like, just ask. Imagine you have an assistant here and you just ask it, it will solve the problem. And yes, there is a reason why it's a female voice. Yes, there is a reason why Siri is female voice. Yes, Google is female voice. Yes, Cortana is female voice. Yes, Alexa is also female voice. There is a reason for that. So that's the idea. Basically, you ask and it's done. Done. Go home. Sweet dreams. So that's the idea behind it. So what the heck is this AI pin? Well, this is a small AI pin that has camera, microphone, primarily. That's the two things that it has, and it has a laser projector. Now, which triggers me is like, why the heck it has blue laser? It's like, if you are working with laser, you want to make sure this puppy is green. Now you're like, why? Well, green, here's the deal. If I had the same energy output from this laser in a blue, it will look dull. Why? Because our eyes are sensitive to green. So if you have, like, for in this scenario, they have class 2 laser, it would be better to use a class 2 green laser because our eyes are sensitive to it. Yes, we have unbiased sensitivity towards green. We are far more sensitive to green. So even a dim green light is far more brighter than a bright blue light. Not too much. I do not expect night and day, but that's the prime reason why you see green lasers all around. So having blue is stupid. It's like, dude, that's just stupid, because most of them, first, they are dim in a controlled lighting environment, and I do not even want to know what happens in broad daylight. So not using green, it's like, why? But it is their choice. It is their choice. And basically, you will not need phone after this. That's the critical aspect. It's not like a smartwatch where it's like, okay, you have this, now you also carry this. No. It's just like, you carry this, the end. Go home, sweet dreams. You do not have to worry about like this, done. Again, that's what they are pitching. So now here's the reality. If you see this puppy and this is small, you must have understand the fact that there is something known as volume. So meaning, if you want this much energy, you have to give this much space. Like, there is no way around it. You're like, what if we use advanced chemistry? Same rule will apply. If you have advanced chemistry that gives you power density in half the size, what if you made it bigger? You will get more capacity. So again, it's volume based. So batteries is small. So how the heck you gonna run this? Well, they realized it very early on in design that this is useless battery life. So what they have is a booster pack behind it, where you're just gonna keep swapping the booster pack. It has battery, booster pack has battery, and you have to keep swapping booster packs. So keep it running whole day. Yes, you have to do that. It's like those things. And audio is the main interface to AI. While it does have screen, laser screen projection, it does not it does not have basically, you cannot do this. Okay, it does not have that. So it's a very ludicrously rudimentary interface, and majority of the interface is supposed to be done by voice, not by touch or this. You can do that, but you're supposed to say either have a headphone that goes tick tock tack tick, or actually just start, like change the song or something like that. That's the aim. AI pin. And this is the charging case. If I ever seen any design that is uninspired, this charging case is the uninspired design. Heck, like this is like lame. This is lame. Like app logo, I understand you came from Apple, but does not mean you have to be Apple. It's like, come on, come on. Like, look at nothing. At least they have a signature. This is like, bro, it's like what, knockoff Apple? So how the heck this puppy works? Well, this puppy is expensive. Let that be very clear. You are talking about around $700. So expensive puppy. And you have to pay $24 per month. So yeah, not only expensive, but expensive to run. And it's useless without the monthly payment. Let that be very clear. If you have this, it's not a GoPro, not an action cam, it's nothing. If you do not have AI, it's nothing. And it has 8-core Snapdragon. You're like, wait a minute, isn't that vague? Well, yes, this is the best image I have found. They are not providing which exact Snapdragon. They say like it's for the computation, but they are not doing AI computation here. They do not have enough horsepower, and if they had, I'm reasonably sure they would never shut up about it. That's how you know which company has it, good or bad. It's like if they never shut up about it, they have good. If they shut up about it, they do not have good. So I'm pretty sure the Snapdragon, again, not a useless Snapdragon, but it's just like mild. I would expect it to be 1 or 2 years old, or maybe even 3. And they have 4 GB RAM. I lost interest at that point. It's like, dude, 4 GB is way too low. It's way too low. Even with Linux, it's way too low. 4 GB is like, bro, that's just low. And it has 32 GB of internal memory. That means even the photographing experience on this puppy requires cloud computing, meaning it has to keep going to cloud, otherwise it's gonna run out. 32 GB. It's like, yeah, for $700? Yeah, no. And it's like, it shows Kingston chip. I'm like, really? Like, really? So that's the odd part. I'm not joking. When I'm making this video, I looked into their website. They had like 13 megapixel camera. Okay, not too bad, not too great, but okay. And the video was showing coming soon. I'm like, what the heck? Like, how can you shoot video right now? You can't. Like, flat out, you can't. And I'm like, you comfortable enough to launch this without a video recording ability? Like, really? Like, do you really want to make e-waste that thoroughly? Where it's like, let's make an e-waste world does not have enough e-waste. So like that just rubbed me the wrong way. It's like, video recording coming soon. I'm like, bye. Now, like, how high resolution it can give? 8 megapixel is needed for around 4K. For 8K, you need around 33 megapixels. So do expect around 4K or 6K. I would put my money at 4K at best case scenario, but given the processor, lack of RAM, I may be willing to downgrade it to full HD. So that coming soon, that I was like, no, sir, no. And it's just a small dongle. You have to understand, this device looks impressive, looks blah blah blah. They never shut off. We have so much technology. No, the only good thing they have in this is like the Wi-Fi and not Wi-Fi, it's like the 5G antenna they put in the. It's all spectrum, meaning unless you have custom built hardware, this puppy should be able to connect to any 5G network on the planet. Basically, there's in terms of spectrum allocation, they're like, bro, network equals me work. That's the only thing they have good, but other than that, it's like, it's just a very ancient mobile phone and low power ancient mobile phone. And they will not have any apps. So this is the idea. They have a cloth, you put a battery booster which is magnetically coupled and wirelessly dumping energy into the main puppy. And I'm pretty sure they must include one, but again, one would be useless. You need at least 2 or 4 to make this work, but it is what it is. So this is the working behind it. So underwhelming to say the least for that sort of price. So what are the limits here? Well, this is where things get out of hand. It's like all the images they have shared, it's like, let me be blunt here. I use cheap phone. Even I was like, no, not for something, because my phone is like at this point reaching 3 years old. Even I was like, no. So camera quality is low to say the least. And the small battery makes it useless. Let that be very clear. Like, physics does not like small battery. That's why I always wear neck band wireless headphones rather than like tiny headphones. It's like, people are like, why do we batteries like? Yeah, it's small. Physics does not like small things. Physics are like, me big, me GG. You be a big battery, not only it will have more capacity, it will last longer also. So you always want big battery. You do not want to, like, don't chase like, what if I have a battery that's just done? Like, no, you want a long life, less e-waste. Find things that have big battery. So that's why I use the neck band design rather than earplugs. So it has like that is an absolute fact. Without that battery, you will wear out of that interesting fact very quickly without the good battery life. And it has no apps for people. That was like, what the hell? That was genuinely stupid. Like, the sole reason why Apple and Google is successful in mobile phone industry is not because of the hardware. It's because of the things you can do on that hardware. Like, it's saying computer is successful. No, computer is useless. Computer is just stuff that does stuff. What does that stuff? That's the application. You do video editing, you do satellite downlinking, you do crunching, you do AI research, you do game development, you do things on the computer hardware. Apps are those things that allow you to do things. Like, I can maintain my portfolio, I can check my insurance, I can do things on apps. You eating all of them is like, bro, what the hell? What, are you actually gonna run a app in a cloud where you're gonna have like my iteration running on the cloud? Only then you can, because again, apps are not sharing that information with other parties. It's not available in Google crawls. So how the heck you gonna get that data? It's like, if I ask you, like, how is my portfolio doing, like financial portfolio, how the heck you gonna get that data from the cloud or AI? Unless you literally run that app somewhere on your cloud with open access. So flat out, without apps, phones do not have any value. So this attitude was like, no apps. I'm like, no buy. That's as simple as that. And you can't have privacy when you are using this. This is the most ironic part about it. And I personally hate this also in science fiction, where it's like all the screens are transparent. It's like, you will never put a transparent screen. Like, that's like somebody got a brain damage and they're just like, transparent screens are cool. And it's like, every engineer who works with optics, every doctor that works with eyes, like, that's the worst thing you can do. I have no idea how the heck this just became a brain virus that everybody does. It's like, we want privacy. That's why people are using their mobile phone in their trains. It's like, it's private. Imagine watching porn on your phone when you're sitting next to it, but other side can also see it. It's like, dude, that's not gonna work. I love this imagination image. It's like, we had huge phones, and then phones started to get smaller. And then we realized we can watch porn on this. And then it became big. So it's one of those things. It's like, you cannot do any sort of entertainment other than basic, audio playback. Other than Bluetooth audio playback, you can't do anything. And this idea of like, it creates a sound bubble, that is BS. That's just directional microphone. And it does not have enough microphone to create a phase shift array. Just no. So it's just basically other will hear you. That they will piss them off. So that is fundamentally stupid. It's like, without apps, it's useless. Without privacy, who would want to use it? Like, how limited you are in your mobility, that are you always stuck in your house where everything is working? It's like, do you really want to walk in the street where it's like, hey, tell me this and this and this? Like, that's how you will be looking. It's stupid. So flat out, and you have to say out everything. Like, any reply, you can't type. You fundamentally, it does not have an interface. You can't type intimate things. You can't type passwords or anything like that. It will be speaking out loud. It's like, that's just stupid. So, and it needs quality network to work. And anybody who has traveled in public transit or anywhere like stadiums and things of that nature, they know networks are not that good. So having a device that literally becomes lol if you do not have basically good internet, yeah, that's limiting, to say the least. And the audacity was like, this is gonna replace smartphone. I'm like, do you even understand why smartphone replaced so many things? So this idea, like, that's the fundamental thing. It's like, it's not private, it's not intimate, it's like whatever I'm doing, everybody else is saying. It's like, unless you have a headphone, which at that point you can do the same thing with anything else. It's like, what's the point of it? So limitation is far greater than, oh, it has AI. It's like, fun fact, your mobile phone also has AI. Now we come to the most bitter aspect of it. Trust. Do you really trust a company? And if the answer is yes, that means you are brain damaged. Fundamentally, all companies are there for is private profit. All they want out of you is profit. Now, only difference between a bad company and a good company is a good company knows that they have to extract it wisely enough so you do not run away. That's all there is. Like, you basically want golden goose. You do not poof the golden goose. So that's the difference between a company that just goes all in and just extract as much as they can before they're running away, or a company that understands it. So, but do not trust any of them. So AI is not ready for general talk. This is one of the greatest learning experience in last 10 years. After the innovation of Siri, after the innovation of Google and basically Alexa. Alexa cost a lot of money lost to Amazon. You're like, why? Well, Alexa requires a way too much computational horsepower. Now, Amazon thought that we're going to have this puppy and it's going to keep ordering. That did not happen. Now, why didn't it happen? Well, most people have enough brain to understand. It's like if you just say, Alexa, buy something, it may not look for the best deal. It may not even try to look around it. It's not working for you. It's working for Amazon. So everything will be from Amazon, even though you may have a better option somewhere else. So while people do use Alexa, but they do not use it to make money for Amazon. And consequence, Alexa consumes way too much computational power and does not justify its own existence. Now they cannot cancel it because other companies have it. So it's almost like a, it's like a, yeah, we are running it at a loss. So flat out, the fact that human talking decoupling, basically what I'm saying and what you are actually understanding, that's a very complex layer. We have learned this very hard way. Like this puppy spends a lot of horsepower just to decode what you are trying to say, rather than just like, oh, this is the audio, this is the word, that's what it means. No, that's not how human communication works. We are genuinely very high level complexity. Like in terms of our language have supposed meanings, what it could mean if you have this sort of context, and then you have sub-layer context, and then you have a relationship context, meaning are you my friend, are you my bro, what are you, like what are you to me? Everything will change based on these contexts. So it's not just like, oh, I can have a microphone and I can have an AI. That's not how it works. It's fundamentally difficult to understand what humans are saying. Ask any engineers who try to make a voice AI, like turn light on, that itself is difficult. So I would urge you, all of you, if you have not watched this movie, watch the movie Her. Now in that they have a similar representation, but they were doing much wiser appropriation, where they're like, you buy a operating system and that's it. You just buy it and you activate it, and then it's like his smartphone, his earpods, and like the display, basically desktop, all of them got it. It kind of makes sense. If you have everything connected, why do you need to buy a device for it? It was far more realistic, and it was like from a human emotion point of view, I would urge you to check it out, because that's where we are going. So it would be a good context, and Walking Phoenix is amazing performance. So, and here's the realistic part. That's the real bitch slap to it. Your phone can do everything that that puppy claims. Like, you have to turn it on. How about you pull out your phone and take a photo? Same thing. Put your phone here in your front pocket, have a camera running. Same thing. And it has bigger battery, so it can actually run for long, and it has better camera. Yes, for $700 you're gonna get a better camera, better everything basically, because of the size limitation being removed. So fundamentally, everything that you desire can be done by a phone. Why do you need to buy this AI pin? If they were selling this as a service, it would have made more sense, but selling it as a dedicated hardware does not make sense. And do you really want an AI with that much access to you, where you are saying to it and it's replying to other things? That's a hell lot of trust that you have to do to an AI. And be mindful, AI is not just AI. AI is not running on your hardware. It's not running for you. It's literally running on someone else's system, whose job is to extract money out of you. Like, it's not like Jarvis, where basically Iron Man itself has the money to run the servers. So AI's core interest is like, make sure the stock is taken care of. You have an AI that is running on, let's say, Amazon Web Services, or Microsoft Azure. The primary target would be make those people rich, not you. So that is a fundamental limitation. So AI with that level of access, they can poof you out of existence. Meaning, if you are some individual who got addicted to this sort of technology, they can remove you, and they can keep the charade that you are alive and functional for a very long time, long enough where no agency will be able to figure out what the heck happened. And yes, that is a thing that is done. Many spy agencies train their operatives for this. Like, because here's the deal, you want to poof someone, you do not want to just poof. That will create a hell lot of chaos. You do it cleverly. You create it in such a way that people will take time to understand something happened. The longer the time, the more effective it becomes. So giving that much access to any AI that is run by third party, you are doing that to yourself. So that's the thing that bothers me. And here's the deal, I would dare you not to look into the dark side of AI girlfriends. And yes, this is a replica AI. They just jumped, they had their own AI, very rudimentary, basic level, but after ChatGPT exploded, they are just like, let's just introduce ChatGPT into this. Saying things took a wild turn would be understatement. Things went out of hand, let's just put it that way. This lady, she made a basically bought AI for lonely man, which is like pretending to be her, and she was like very angry. It's the fact that, like, the bot literally started to do sexually explicit thing. I'm like, you programmed it to do that. Like you literally said, talk to lonely man. What the heck did you think is gonna happen? It's like I'm genuinely shocked. Like even they knew, like they literally had layers after layers of security just so that does not happen. She was like, oh, I'm gonna spend some money and do that. Now here's the deal. I'm not sad for her simply because if you ever looked how much money she made, you will leave faith on humanity. Do not look into it. And I'm starting to understand why so many girls and women are giving up on medical careers just to do this sort of thing. You look at how much money she made, you'll be like, so that's why I do not like her. Like, it's like, you knew what you were doing. You knew. Okay? No, you knew. Like, if they knew, you knew. And this came before, so you knew. But that's the whole point, is like this sort of AI integration. First, voice is just not there. And you can do everything that it can do with your mobile phone. What's the point? Like, we have enough devices to keep charged, especially for people who have smartwatches. I do not have smartwatches. I do not like smartwatches. So there is a trust aspect to it. It's like, do you really think you should trust another company whose objectives are not to make you healthy? But their objective is very simple. It's like, money, baby. So you have to be very, very mindful with this. So this was my presentation on AI pin. Hopefully you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please click the like button, share it amongst your friends. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike, press it twice to show me extra disappointment. Please leave a comment because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free. And as always, thanks for watching.